Well, as you can see, this is a little different. We got, it's a little sparse up here, but in the low spots where it actually stuck all the way, we got between like an inch and a half of snow overnight. And tomorrow's supposed to be 60 degrees, so it's gonna be a nice muddy mess. Just about the time it gets dry enough that you might think about, hey, I mean, it's got to do a lot of drying before I would think about spreading any fertilizer on the work ground, but like spreading fertilizer on the wheat or trying to get some yard work done, or, you know, the stuff that you'd like it to be at least firm on top to get done, it does something stupid again. So, with that in mind, gonna be another in the shop day. I'm gonna get some tractors serviced. I'm hoping to get 66, a 1600, and a 1955 done today. I did the 77 yesterday or last night after work. She's gonna have to come back down in the shop. Have to see how things go. Probably one afternoon this week, because one of the 3-point cylinders is leaking, and if I'm going to rebuild one, I'm going to rebuild them both, so, because they're identical. And they both been on there the same amount of time, so chances are if one is leaking, the other one ain't far behind, so might as well get them both done. But Dad should have all the stuff to do it down there in the shop, so a couple hours, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It's going to take longer to get them off than to rebuild them. So we'll see her again. I'm hoping that, because we got a plow day coming up on the 23rd, and it's gonna have to do a lot of damn drying between now and then to make it happen. But if it does happen, I kind of want to take the 77 and the 3 bottom, because I ain't plowed with that thing in forever. Actually, I can't even remember the last time. The last time that tractor might have plowed. Matter of fact, I know the last time that tractor plowed. The last time that tractor plowed would have been my junior year of college. I had a friend come up for that plow day. We got coming up. I had a friend come up from college, and she drove it. That's the last time that tractor and 3 bottom were together. So it's been, I've been out for, I graduated in 16. So that's 6 years, 7 years since that thing's done any plowing. So she's about due. Whoops, she wants some choke. I know it hasn't run since before Christmas, so that's not that bad for sitting that long. But I'll get her down to the shop and we'll start on this one. Alright, I had to take care of some phone calls and whatnot, because taking care of everybody else's emergencies, but we're finally getting going on this thing. Do not remember putting the drain plug in that tight. There we go. That was probably a tad excessive. This tractor is probably going to be on the overhaul list for this winter. Finally go through the bottom end of it like I've been threatening to do for, I think I've been trying to do it for the last 3 years, and other things just keep coming up. And I think the 77 might have to be on the list for next year or next winter, because, or even later this summer, we'll just have to see what time and money allows. When I did the oil in it yesterday, it had just a touch, not that, and I mean not a lot, just like a little int, and then it quit, of antifreeze in the bottom of the oil pan, which has got me wondering if a liner seal has got a little bit of a weep or something. So I gotta believe if it was a head gasket, it would have been a whole lot more than that. Alright, I greased the front end, checked the antifreeze, topped off the hydraulic oil, checked the plugs, got the new filter on, got the drain plug back in. Yeah, basically everything's done except putting the oil back in it. And I screwed up and got a case of oil at Napa thinking it was 1 gallon jugs, and ended up buying a case of 1 quart bottles. So we're gonna burn these things up first. You know, we got all these dumbass environmentalists thinking that they're going to save the world and all this stupid crap. There's a very easy way to greatly reduce our plastics pollution. Get rid of plastic bottles and go back to the cardboard 1 quart cans, because those are made out of steel, recyclable, and cardboard, which is recyclable and comes from trees, which is a renewable resource. And get rid of plastic pop bottles and go back to glass pop bottles, because glass is recyclable and not harmful to the environment if it does by chance get thrown out. And reusable, because you just send them back and you wash them out like they did back in the old days. Plus, it'd be cooler because cardboard oil cans are cool and glass bottles are cool. Alright, 66 is done, so that's a 16's turn. If you crack this filter kind of slow and let the air suck in, it won't bleed oil everywhere. Usually. It'll kind of glurgle its way down into the oil pan like it should. If you let the tractor sit for like 30 minutes before you bother taking the oil filter off, it doesn't do it, but I'm not that patient. This old girl and the 77 both need a bath. But I've been holding off because the driveway is so damn wet. I don't want to make it worse by washing shit in the driveway. Yeah, she's probably about 2 quarts low on hydraulic oil. 3-speed's a little low. This thing, the 3-speed on this weeps a little bit. The seal that's in the, because obviously you got your output shaft, your input shaft, and they're split in the center for your clutch pack and whatnot, and that center seal in this thing leaks when it gets cold. So one of these days, actually what I'd really like to do is stuff a 3-speed in this, because I think it'd make it a lot handier tractor, but we got other projects going on, so that's why I really haven't been too worried about tearing this thing out yet, because I'm not 100% sure I want to keep that in this tractor. All right, hydraulic oil's topped off, 2 speeds topped off, engine oil's changed, filters changed, greased, or tractor's greased, loader's greased, checked the antifreeze, changed the oil in the air filter. So 1600's ready to go. Now I gotta swap out our oil barrel before I do the 1955, because I don't think there's enough room left in it. There might be enough room left in it to fit what's in the pan now, but I'm not brave enough to try it. So I gotta run up. I think we still got some empties up there in the barn. I gotta run up while I got this thing, and I'll slap the bucket on it and go grab a new oil drum so I can keep changing oil or keep getting rid of waste oil. And then we'll get the 1955 up here and go through it. Alright, I got the oil draining. These things I do a little backward from what I do on all the other tractors. And on all the other tractors, normally I drop the oil, pull the filters off, and then while I'm doing all the other crap on the tractor, I'll let the oil drain out. Well, on these, I dropped the oil out of the pan, let it drain, go around, do all my other crap on the tractor, and then take the filters off, because that gives the filters enough time to drain out into the pan, and you don't make as much of a mess. This one ain't so bad because it's got a drain. It's a little messier on the 1950T because they've laid it down and it's stuffed under there. I really almost want to find a bracket, like, even though it wouldn't be factory correct, but for practical purposes, I'd really like to find a bracket like this for the 1950T and move the filter over here and stand it upright, just to make servicing easier. But I know Corv sells them, and I think Maybach might, but they actually make a spin-on adapter. Actually, I think it bolts on, but either way, they make an adapter that goes on this filter base, and you can convert this filter to a spin-on. And it should work on this, it should work on the T, and I think it'll work on the 1800, but I'd really like to at some point at least get one and try it and convert these things to spin-on to make, because I think the spin-on filters are cheaper than the stock filters, and they're definitely easier to change. But anyway, I'm gonna go get the fuel filters changed, check the hydraulic oil, check the 3-speed, check the coolant, yada yada yada, and come back and we'll pull these oil filters and change them out. these guys, there just really ain't no good clean way to do it. But if you can kind of hold up on the base and then get it loose from, or I guess technically this would be considered the base, and then this would be the cap. But if you can kind of hold up on the cap and then get the filter broke loose from the base, you can trap most of the diesel inside the filter and then pour it out. Now, the thing I never get, like on the 1950T, the O-rings, like, you put them up in there and they actually like expand a little bit and they like stick up in there. This one, on this one, they just fall in. Well, they're the same filter base. I don't know if they just, I don't know. Stay up in there. Stay. You gonna stay up in there, or you gonna make me get the grease? You might make me get grease. Just stay up there for a couple seconds. right, she's pretty much ready to go. Oil's in it, filters are in it, fuel filters are changed. I greased everything on the front axle except the two fittings that I can't get because I got to turn the axle because I keep forgetting to get 90s for them. Those guys right there, them two. Every time I grease this front axle, I tell myself, I'm going to grab some 90-degree grease zerks so that I can grease it without having to turn the tractor. Well, every time I tell myself that again and I forget. Oh, need to chain this guy back up. Check the hydraulic oil, or topped off the hydraulic oil. Okay, sorry for the weird cutout. Damn camera battery went from 32% to 0 like that. I'm pretty sure I need to quit using that battery because it's one of them I took to Rand Tool and I was carrying it around in my pocket, which was probably not the best thing to do because I don't think it liked the heat and it swelled up a little bit. I probably need to quit using it, but I keep milking it, waiting for it to die because batteries for these things they're not like super duper expensive, but I mean, it'll still hold the charge. You might as well milk it for everything it's got, right? I got 2 brand new ones still in the box. I just haven't used them yet. Anyway, everything's good. Check the coolant. Just gotta fire it up and fill the oil filters and let it sit and recheck it. We got no leaks. Take care of my grease fittings real quick. Alright, there's set for a second. Check the oil. I'll probably have to top it off. And then this one will be done. Oh, I need to throw some grease on, or throw some oil on the chain coupler real quick. I need to do that. Well, there you go. All I got left to change oil in is the 1800 and 4150. And I guess I probably ought to do the Super 55. It's due. I got the stuff to do it, might as well, even though it ain't got any hours on it. Need to get that thing on a dyno because the valve train's ticking on it. I want to get a hard run in on it so I can pull the valve cover back off and redo the valves or recheck the valves real quick. But I don't want to go through, adjust the valves, break it in, or run it on a dyno and then tear it all back apart and do the valves again. So, one piece at a time. But anyway, I guess tomorrow the weather's, well, obviously the weather straightened out. It finally straightened out about 1 o'clock. So hopefully tomorrow we can get the planter down here and continue working on it. So anyhow, I guess with that, oh, I like doing this because we got all 3 of them here. We got a Series C 1800, which was the first one to use a 310 diesel. And we've got a 1950T, which was the first one to use a 310 turbo. And then we got to 1955, which was the last one to use a 310 turbo. Technically, all we need to hit all of the stages is a late model 1750 that has a direct injected 310, because a 1750 would be the first one to use a direct injected 310 non-turbo, because that's a pre-combustion 310. But yeah, it's kind of neat. Anyway, I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.